What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of the Rakish Rovers. My name's Tom Quinn, resident dungeon master here at Modern Myth. But this is the real reason you guys are sitting down with us today. These beautiful people here.
Hi.
Hi.
There they are.
Totally awkward. No.
They are.
It's like your first session all over again.
Frightening charisma modifier across the board.
Usually I'm a bard, you can tell.
Not today.
Not today.
Before we jump right in, just a quick check with you guys. Did you guys have anything you wanted to say to the people out there? Otherwise, we're going to roll straight on into it.
Just thanks for being here. We appreciate your support.
Speaking of support, hey, if you're enjoying the content, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that little bell. And hey, leave a comment about how amazing you think we are. Because we can't take negative criticism.
Only good things.
My precious ego can't take it.
Keep that bad shit to yourself. No, we're gonna dive straight back into it. Coming off of last episode, the Rovers found themselves in an interesting, what we will refer to henceforth as the planetarium. This clearly a room of deliberate purpose. Quite definitively, this was instantiated here for a reason. What that reason is specifically is kind of the question at hand. And as you guys explored the mechanism and kind of came to realize that you had some ability to manipulate the traversal of time, at least in the cosmos painted across the ceiling, pushing that further and further forward into the future, slowly but surely, more and more of the stars begin to extinguish until soon only one point of light remained on the ceiling of the planetarium. And as you guys push that final 90 degrees and you felt that lever stop and the door raise up, that last point of light vanished, the room falling completely dark. And almost immediately, you feel the sense around you.
Take the block action.
That there's movement. You can feel it in the walls. You can feel it initially in that space. You can tell there's much as before, this kind of sound. That sound is rapidly accompanied by the sensation of air being displaced as something drops, kind of coiling off of the ceiling, another falling down. You can immediately feel kind of something move across as it passes over a foot. Rapidly in this space, only through the powers of hearing, smell, touch. The room is filling. In a matter of instants, you can feel ankle deep as things are writhing around you, shin deep, toppling.
Okay,
close.
we need to move the dial.
Yeah, move the dial back.
Okay. Who's jumping on?
I'll do it.
Yeah, I will jump.
I mean, I'll help. I'll do anything I can.
Okay. The three of you moving to the dial. As you do, I need a dex save across the board.
Are they within 10 feet of me?
The room's pretty small, really.
15? I forget. Oh shit.
Well, you guys just finished moving the dial, and I was
They are everywhere.
These two.
Oh, these two. I'm
From
sorry.
my aura.
Yes.
Okay, so you get +4.
oh boy, +4 or
I'm gonna need it.
+4.
+4. Oh boy.
Yeah, you're gonna need it too.
Oh lord.
Oh god, I'm gonna need it too. Oh god!
We're a room full of snakes.
Why'd it have to be snakes? It belongs to the museum! Sorry, I'm gonna have to get a lot of Indiana Jones quotes out of here.
Yeah,
I
that's a
immediately
9
went
for
to-
me.
Yeah,
You,
so
sir?
11.
20.
Oh god.
Yeah, I rolled bad.
Weren't you saying?
Well, I know, but I realized my modifier is a 10, so.
Oh, for the love of. How do you have a 10 modifier? for?
Because I think I'm proficient in it, and then I have the Bring of Protection, and
Yeah, she's proficient.
and then I'm maxed out on my.
The three of you, well, I should say the two of you, just immediately kind of going back into like, fuck, grabbing a hold back of the handle because you haven't even had an opportunity to move away from it. Aster, as you kind of in the blackness just stumble in the direction you're confident they were, kind of hoping you're going to find Kel there on the end. Your hand does make contact with him just as you feel the sting, kind of a glint of blue light. And it's almost like a micro lightning in a bottle, if you will. This kind of, the room kind of glits with blue light for a moment. And you can just see kind of in that flash the uncoiling of a body and fang, and you feel it kind of jab into your leg. I need a wisdom save.
Ooh. You're still in 10.
Okay.
You feel Kel's hand reach out, kind of acknowledging your presence as well, and it's in that moment, Kel, that you feel the same, and the room kind of flitting with blue light just momentarily. I need a wisdom save from you as well, sir.
You said +4.
Yeah.
Oh, ouch.
Luckily,
bad.
this is what I'm trained in.
That's an 8 for me.
10 plus 4 plus 4 is
18.
19. Plus 1 wisdom.
Oh, is that plus? Do we add? No, you're not trained. You're trained in it.
Yeah.
You keeping it?
Oh, total dumb question. I might have been. Would a what did I have? A 9 dex? Would a 13 have saved? Okay.
Okay.
But are you keeping? I meant to ask him last time, and I didn't, so.
Where do I stand as far as those go?
I don't think you've used any yet. Might be wrong.
I think for your lucky,
Which is
I'm
weird.
a
free and
lucky
clear.
person.
Are you
I would
using?
like to
I think I've
reuse
used one.
or reroll.
as you kind of, and the steps and shuffling of your feet, you can feel the ground uneven underneath you. Sometimes you step down, you can feel a mass rise out from underneath your foot. You can hear kind of a as something kind of coils off into the dark. Occasional flicks of blue light. Again, no bigger than maybe a foot in diameter is this little pulse of
10 plus 4, 14.
keeping it.
Yeah, that's all I got.
You feel the sting in your leg, simultaneously you in your arm as you're kind of reaching out, and two of you make contact. You feel your head
Oh, wait.
swim.
Do I get, is this psychic? Do I have a plus?
Oh, you've got resistance against psychic, but it's not psychic.
Okay.
You feel your head swim momentarily, and even in the black, which is already hard to kind of getting this weird sense of which way's up, which way's down, and kind of all sense of gravity leaves you for a moment, and kind of in that instant, you can almost feel yourself kind of drifting out of place, clutching desperately to Kel's hand as your mind kind of reels, pulling yourself back and realizing you are still there beside him, clutching. The three of you laying into the lever. I need an athletics check across the board.
All right. This is my shit.
14 is not bad, actually. 11.
Just a 12.
18.
14.
12, 18,
So 30 and 14.
44. Cranking forward, clink, 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 the lever. Which direction are you pushing?
Back to the door open, like,
6 o'clock position?
yeah, so we can get some light in here.
Okay, back the other direction. Though.
Back the way it came.
Okay.
Yeah.
Grabbing it, clink, 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 and you hear the door slam down as it begins reeling around. I need another dex save from everybody.
Slammed it
here.
Did the snake stop falling? Or is the room still
I mean,
filling?
The room is pitch black still, so it's.
Oh.
Wait, quick question. The door should have already been down, right? Because it was on Sir Carr's spot, so we're moving it back towards the hallway.
Yeah, but every 90 degrees that door is opened and anything in between
The
is
hall.
closed.
Okay.
So it slams
Gotcha.
down as you guys begin moving it.
Gotcha.
But you can feel beneath you, same deal. Every trudging step, you can feel the writhing bodies, and increasingly, you're having to high knees your leg out of the pile of coils that have begun kind of embracing, grasping at
Another
your.
Yeah, Dex. 16
So 18,
plus 4, 22.
22,
Nice.
25.
6.
Ooh.
On one such step, as you yank your foot free, you feel your boot kind of hang under a particularly heavy coil of flesh, and as you kind of yank it free, you feel this kind of the hot sear of pain as it hits your ankle. Another flit of blue, and increasingly now, kind of the room is kind of crackling with blue light, and in those brief instances, you can see now pushing towards waist high the writhing bodies of hundreds, maybe thousands of snakes, all sizes, all shapes, colors. Give me a wisdom save as you
You got this.
Yes, I do. Yeah, it's 18 on the die.
continuing to charge forward. The lever clink, 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 hits the 90-degree mark. The door drawing up, and that single pinprick of light as you glance up, and in that instant, you are alone in the room again. And the lone star, the tiniest pinprick of illumination, just barely casting any sense, and kind of the toe of your boot feeling around for safe space to place a foot down, finds nothing but safe space around you.
We all
how you
saw that, right? Oh.
Yeah, they're just gone. Is there?
Did anyone suffer any bites? I got a couple bites, but I feel okay.
Can I check where I felt the sting? Can I check the leg or wherever I felt the bite?
Absolutely.
Is there anything there?
There is. You can see 2 definitive puncture wounds, and you can see kind of leaking around the wound this pearlescent blue liquid.
Should I?
Can I lay on hands 5 points and see if it cures it of the weird blue shit?
Sure.
Okay. I do it.
Do you feel different?
Do I
you
feel weird at all?
In this moment, you do not. You certainly recall the experience you had, albeit brief.
Can I collect some in a vial? Can I have a vial real quick
Yes.
and just grab a few drops? Do you have any, Cal? Did you get bit?
I would say a drop, maybe. I mean, it's a very minute amount of
Oh.
liquid, but you can collect up what you can of it.
I'll do a once over on myself to see how I'm doing.
As you raise your arm, the dim light, actually everyone can see, very similar to puncture wounds in your arm. A similar opalescent, pearlescent blue liquid. Again, a very, very small amount lingers around the wound. Checking your ankle, you find it the same.
When I laid hands on her, did it seem to make a difference? Do you feel a difference?
I feel the same.
I wonder if it's poison. I don't know if it is poison.
I don't know. Well, I'd like to see what this is about, but I think for now we need to get this thing figured out so we can get the hell out of here.
I agree.
As you guys are talking amongst yourselves and looking over your wounds, once again you can hear the tap, 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 tap. And
We got it all the way open again?
you've only moved to that 90-degree mark.
Oh.
Um,
Have we heard that at the 90-degree mark before? Or have we only heard it when it was like quote unquote 6 o'clock?
Thus far you've only heard it when it was quote unquote 6 o'clock. And so you can hear kind of that muffled tap, and then equally so you can hear Your robe. And the footfalls and tapping kind of moving. And it's not long before right through the wall, the figure enters the room that you're in, places this invisible object, and goes through all the same motions.
But this is our first time. Is this our first time watching it from this angle?
I think so.
Or we've probably watched him.
You have, thus far, the other times that you've seen him, is the lever, if you want to call it that, has been in the 6 o'clock position.
And
So
we
it
are-
is in the
But
3 o'clock
we're
position.
actually in the room with him.
And we're all seeing him right now? Not just
Yep.
those who've been bit. Okay.
Yep, all of you. And again, I mean, this is, as you watch him come through, I mean, the second you hear the tapping, you half expect that at some point you're going to see him. Sure enough, he goes through the same. The lever is no longer there for him to grab, but he reaches as though it is, walks through the same series of footsteps. I mean, the movements are identical. There's quite obviously no adaptation based on the changes in this space.
Asta, do you know any kind of magic akin to what we just saw in that room?
Well, I suppose it. I'm assuming it could be illusory, but I mean, obviously, this fellow has something of that nature. Can I? Let's get the door back to open. I'd like to detect magic. Once we do.
In the main
Okay.
room?
Mhm.
Okay.
All right. Are you guys all on the lever? If you're all on the lever, I'm just going to keep your
Yeah.
roll.
Yeah.
Continue on. So you're going to move the additional 90 and just get back to...
Yes.
Okay.
So theoretically, that would rewind it to, from a timeline perspective, to our modern time, like the night sky would look like our night
Right.
sky.
And you watch as heaving on the lever, pushing it, I mean, barely as an ability to glance up, but you could kind of feel the bloom of light overhead as a bunch more of these stars kind of reconstitute as you crank the machine back.
Am I familiar enough with the sky to know what star is left? If there's a name for it, or if it's part of a constellation?
The singular star?
The one, yeah.
No.
Okay.
I'm not even going to ask for a roll, no. It's
Okay. Doors open. Everything's lit. Daylight's coming in again.
as the lever hits that 180 degree mark, 6 o'clock mark. I guess that's a good way of staying with it.
Yeah.
The 6 o'clock mark, the door raising up, the shaft of light coursing off down the hall, and you can see the room you've come to expect. The 2 statues coming off of the ceiling, and at this point, the ceiling itself is doing a fair bit of illumination here in this room. But yes, you can see the kind of the very dim pool. It's a long serpentine caveway that leads up to this junction. So, but you do get the dim pooling of light from outside.
Okay. Aster's going to sit down immediately and start kind of meditating and doing the ritual.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And that's tech magic.
Correct.
I see what she did there.
Oh, we all saw.
Yeah. You know, I can protect us from poison. In order to cover all of us, it's going to take a lot. Do you think it's worth it? So I have a feeling we're going to have to run into those snake thingies again.
Well, it wouldn't hurt now that we know that our adversary is.
It's a snake, but I don't know if it is poison. But better safe than sorry in my mind. But
Okay.
this is going to wipe me out pretty good.
Well, let's see what Asta comes back with.
Okay.
Can I see your wound again?
Sure. As he lifts up his armor. Oh, you mean that one? Oh, I'm sorry. That one. Yeah. I see you lower. He'll show her the arm.
Tell her she needs to suck the venom out.
Oh my god.
Can I inspect it?
Yeah, you're looking at the arm or the ankle?
Just his arm is fine.
Okay. Give me a medicine check.
May Illustrate he guide you and you're checking my leg.
Oh.
Her arm. May
No,
her
you
arms
said
feast.
leg gets wasted.
No!
Illustrate's beaming all this power down to your leg.
What? You stupid idiot.
She's like, I knew I should have picked a champion who knew his arms from his legs.
I'm sorry, I'm not perfect.
Oh, it's not great. It's only 10. I don't think it'll tell me anything.
I mean, looking it over, it's... If he had just walked in from outside under any circumstances, you'd go, that's a snake bite. It's, if not that, I mean, could be some kind of large insect, could be, but anything, it's clearly a fanged puncture wound.
Okay.
Interesting. But beyond that, there's not really much notable about it. The blue liquid, but given your earlier investigation, I'm going to operate under the assumption that you didn't just leave that to chill in there. You were at least like,
I
all
looked
right.
it up. No, I liked it.
Looked it up?
Yeah.
Did you?
No.
But did you?
Just
I'm
checking.
kind of curious because I didn't know if it was
For
poison or
goodness
not.
sake. Drink the green juice.
I have a habit of ingesting possibly harmful liquids.
Possibly.
As you guys are looking that over, the 10 minutes comes to an end as a kind of sudden, just slight buffet of air. This is a relatively still space in here. You can feel kind of this disturbance of air. You watch as some of Aster's clothing and her hair kind of riles just momentarily before settling. And in that moment, the world blooms to light. And given the sheer complexity of this small space, you half expect a near immediate return on investment.
Mm-hmm.
Glancing around the room, there's nothing of note.
What? So she runs to the hallway to touch the space where the guy comes out.
Yeah.
Not only do you not see anything of interest, it appears to very clearly be stone.
What the hell? I'll run to the other room, kind of frantically, just looking around, looking at the statues. Is there anything of note?
As you enter that room, on the entering that room, let's think of this room, I guess, in the same manner. Where you enter is 6 o'clock
Okay.
for this room.
Okay.
The 2 statue heads would be 12 o'clock.
Correct.
At 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock, you can see a very similar inscription, or not inscription, but symbol, albeit not visible to the naked eye, on at the 9 and 3 o'clock position.
Guys, there's something in here. I'll run to the 3 o'clock. What is that? What do I see?
The 3 o'clock symbol is, if you can envision an inverse, I'll even draw this for you as I'm saying
Draw
it.
it.
But, an inverse horizon. We're learning things.
Thank you, Cal.
An inverse horizon
weird feeling.
with similar
This is
lines
important.
to that you've seen on the sun, though there's clearly no
Horizon.
sun. It's purely the horizon itself.
Oh.
It seems to be kind of a call it a shallow U shape with a series of, I guess, almost immediately the first thing that it reminds you of when you see it is an eye when closed.
Oh. All right. Taking mental note of that. Is there anything carved, written?
The wall is perfect. I mean, running your hand over it.
This is purely because it's not visible to the naked eye.
It is not visible to the naked eye, and it is
What type of magic?
Enchantment.
I'll look behind and run to the other one real quick.
Okay. The 9 o'clock position is one that is as you approach it, you go like, oh, I know what that is. It is very clearly the sun. It is a circle with rays engraved, or I shouldn't say engraved, but magically engraved.
And are there any notches or anything in this room?
There are none.
Do the statues have anything? Can I inspect them closer?
Sure. I can tell you with regard to detect magic, you notice nothing immediately, which usually jumps out at you. But give me an investigation check as you look at the statues over.
I don't want to use my whole spell time doing that. If that's what it takes, I won't do it.
Okay. No, I don't imagine it. I mean, if you're just inspecting them over real quick to see if you can pick something up. While she's clearly rapidly gets invested in this room quickly. Right. What is Kat and Kill doing during that time? You nasty.
You nasty. I didn't say nothing. I said say nothing.
Do you feel any difference?
You didn't have to.
I called you guys over. Come on now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're coming.
They're all outside.
I'm alone in my puzzle.
Yeah.
What's going on? What do you see?
What do your wizard eyes see?
Do you see?
It counts.
Do you see it? Do you see those?
Yeah, this wall. It's a nice wall.
No, the symbols. Don't you see them?
Do they glow
Can
like they have
Can
magic?
I tell that they cannot be seen yet? Or do
Oh,
I?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and again, running your hand over it, you can feel it's perfectly smooth. Although, from your vision, it almost looks like it's embossed there on the wall, just in kind of this bright arcane light.
So when I cover it with my hand, it goes dark? Or can I, like...
You can cover the symbol with your hand, but you
Okay.
can feel that the wall is perfectly smooth.
There are symbols here. We haven't seen these ones before. They're this one, and then I'm gonna just scribble what they look like on a piece of parchment. This one is right there, like the eyelid shut, the closed eye is at 3 o'clock, and then the sun-looking one is there. Really quick before I run out of time, can I look at the prism?
There you go.
As you pull the prism out, they kind of staring at you a little awkwardly, because as you unsheath it, you wince at the bright. I mean, you near drop it, and you in fact even tuck it back initially. It not only does it glow with an extremely potent signature. It's difficult to quantify. That's a weird way of saying it. Quantify by color, qualify, I guess, by color, because it seems to be glowing with such a multitude, maybe all
Types.
Schools of the arcane.
Jesus.
You right there, Aster? You been hitting the sauce a little early today? No? Okay. Thought I was the only one.
Do you have any?
Yeah? Is it?
Little flask. Flasky flask.
Slug down a deep slug of whiskey, and kind of for that moment you feel your head kind of swim as the heat rolls down your throat and into your stomach, and in that you feel kind of a slight dithering as the world comes back to.
I'll peek back as it goes away. Peek back at the prism.
And you watch as the prism, the blinding, I'll just say is blinding white light, such a concentration of so many colors.
Like staring
and
at the sun.
as it dithers down, soon you are left holding the object that seems so much more mundane now that it's worn off.
This is something else.
You know what it is? Looks like a rock.
Thank you, Cal.
You're welcome.
Geology achievement unlocked.
Yes. +1 to geology rolls.
This
All
is
future
powerful
geology rolls,
magic.
I'm actually giving
Whatever
you
this
+1.
is no wonder they wanted it so badly. Yeah, I'm a little nervous to do this.
Well. Is there any way to learn more about it? No. Could you tell? Was there a color associated with it?
Try all.
Have you ever seen anything
about
that has all?
Burn my retinas looking at it. But I would like to, and I'm happy to do this as a spell, cast Identify on it.
Better, because I don't think it's a ritual.
It is.
It is?
Yeah.
Frick.
But
Love
I,
wizards.
in the interest of time, can I do that?
Sure.
See, now you don't have to roll your d20.
It's true. Grasping the prism. Give me an Arcana check.
Hey, Elistray, bless you.
All right,
Anyone takes
all
a
right.
divine class really take guidance. It's turned out to be the most useful cantrip ever.
Everything.
All right.
Jesus.
You gonna keep it?
You gonna keep it?
Did you see what it was?
5.
5 plus your 4.
No, it's 1d4, so it's not guaranteed 4.
Oh.
Are you gonna keep
I'm
it?
trying to remember.
Well, is Identify at level 2 or level 3 spell?
1.
1.
Oh! 4.
So that's 9 in total.
Yeah.
16.
No!
Keeping it.
Yes.
That's not bad.
As you can I actually have you and Amanda
Vacate the premises?
vacate the premises for me?
Oh,
Sure. I wanted a beer anyway.
As you raise the prism up into your hand, you can kind of feel the course of energy move from you into this object. You've become pretty accustomed to this process. This course of energy kind of flows into the object, finding its way into all the little nooks and crannies, and as it kind of draws back, with it comes the flood of information that provides you insights into what it is that you are holding. Never in that time has the return been one of consciousness. And as you feel that flood of energy kind of pour into it, fully expecting it to kind of draw back to you, you feel a tug, and that energy kind of remains held within the prism. So you've come. Tell me what it is you're seeking.
answers.
You feel a relinquishing of that energy and it's drawing back to you. You get one. And in that moment, you feel full release, and as the energy draws back, would you grab them? Okay. As that floods back to you. You suddenly feel an absence of sight. You blink a number of times. In fact, for a moment, you have to convince yourself to open your eyes again. And when you realize, yes, they are in fact open, the real unnerving nature of that sensation sets in. And it's in that moment you can hear the tap, 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 tap. And glancing around, fully expecting to find it somewhere, it's accompanied by a tactile sense, a slight vibration running up your arm, which coincides with the tapping itself. You feel a flit of your tongue as you taste your way through the corridor ahead, a vast labyrinth, in fact. And as the sheer awkwardness of finding yourself in that position begins to settle a little bit, you're able to kind of appreciate how competent you are at navigating this space. As you tap through, suddenly that tap, you can kind of hear a residual, an echo almost, and then a lesser one, and then a lesser one, and they begin painting the hallway out in front of you. Another flit of the tongue, and you can kind of taste strange spice sensations, the sense of stale air versus clean. A weird picture begins developing in your sightless mind as you move through this space. You pass through a room where you see two small seats, I guess you could say. They're very clearly architectured out of stone, but two small seats. And as you pass through that room, you see a doorway that you move through. And as you move through that doorway, it's in that instant that you recognize precisely where you are. This kind of, again, this weird picture, your mind assembling everything in front of you in the absence of sight. And you can feel the obvious navigational options of taking that right or taking that left into either the planetarium or the accompanying room, the adjoining room. And as you tap your way through there, you can hear kind of rumbling up from your own chest the words, "You're late," as you turn. Only this time, as you move towards that room, you can see the prism. To this point, fully confident it's still been lying in your hands. As you move up, removing it gently from its cradle, I guess you could call it, between these two statues, you move back through that space into the other, carrying through all the same motions you've seen carried through, pushing the lever. Only this time, as it comes to a stop and the door raises open, you, kind of a passenger in this form, retrieve that crystal, placing it just so atop one of the small pedestals, the snake figurine pedestals. And you begin immediately going through the motions, a strange incantation of some kind. And as you're pulled back through, you feel a shudder run through your body, and you can see a look of perplexion, concern, confusion on your
Aster.
companions' faces.
She has
You
to-
hear the tap, 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 just echoing off in the distance as it recedes, whether it's in your mind or somewhere else in the corridors is anyone's guess. But you find yourself back once again. As your vision comes to almost a stranger feeling to regain vision, having been without it for that period of time. But as you come to, you are just as you remember yourself staring at the the prism as it rests gently in your hand.
Are you okay?
Aster like kneels for a second just to kind of.
Whiskey.
Yeah.
Maladaptive coping mechanisms.
I think did they hear what happened on my end throughout that?
What you guys witnessed as she conducted her identify was identical to any other time she has identified anything. You watched as for a moment she held the crystal. You could see that, maybe a little more time transpired as she carried through the arcane procedures to do so. She kind of held it, her eyes closing, focusing heavily on the prism itself. And several moments later, as her eyes reopened, you could see a bit of a shaken visage on her, but a matter of seconds has transpired, which for you may well have been tens of minutes, dozen, half hour maybe it transpired in that space. It was all said and done.
The room with the 2 seats, was that trajectory basically through what I know to be solid stone?
The one you just inspected where you've seen him come through, that is in that visage as that figure where you entered this space from.
Did I sense when I uttered the words, did I sense anybody that I was speaking to?
I'll leave that to you based on the intro. You're talking about as the...
Was there anyone else in the room? Any other bodies? Like when I was saying you're late, as the guy, was I speaking to anybody?
If you were, they were not present per your senses, which, like I said, despite being blind, that was not the experience you would have attributed to a blind person moving through this space. It was quite astute in their perception of the space, but no, to the best of your knowledge, no one was being spoken to in that moment.
And then I guess the last thing, when he started uttering incantations, maybe not the language, but did I recognize any of the movement, any of the arcana that came from?
Nothing specific, but there's a familiarity in all arcane movements. There's a channeling of the weave that is just unanimous.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. I mean, every wizard who's channeling up a certain spell, there are certain, there might be certain inflections in the way that they manifest that, but the broader motions and the broader motions, I would say, and you were pulled away just as it was going up. The broader motions you were familiar with. They were definitely this figure, you would say, confidently was invoking the arcane, but in what capacity and what specifics? You know what? I'll tell you what. Give me an arcana check with disadvantage.
May the illustrate bless you. Actually, well, I'm probably not aware.
You probably are not aware.
Yep.
Your aura doesn't help with this, right?
No.
Okay.
That's only saving throws. Oh, Sheep, you're rolling like a beast. 17 was low.
17 was low, so 24.
A disadvantage.
24 with disadvantage.
I know some things.
She knows those moves.
As you kind of were, again, we'll call it a passenger, the initial movements, you would most closely correlate what healing spells do you know?
Healing?
Cure
Cure
wounds.
wounds is pretty much it.
Again, without a large body of reference, that's, you know, there's that's the closest thing you could, and I wouldn't say it's a good correlation, but it's the only correlation you have given all of the arcane gestures. It's the closest thing you've got. Like I said, I wouldn't say it's a great correlation, but
Okay.
and again, you kind of are having this experience as you're literally, your consciousness is being dragged from this this form. So
Totally.
are Kat and Kel doing anything in this? I know obviously you're witnessing Aster come back too from this, and she's looking a little rattled, but is there anything?
I think honestly I'm just waiting for some information.
Yeah, same.
Okay. I was him for a minute.
Walkie stick, clicky clack, dude.
Yeah.
Cool. That was weird.
Cool. That was weird.
All right. Well, I think we're done here.
Good chat.
Pretty-
Good chat, team.
He did pretty much
He
sum
did.
up the experience.
I think he did. I think we're
It was
good here.
cool, but it was weird.
Level 6. Right? Intelligence 6. Is there? Did you figure anything out?
He came out of a room there, and I'll point to the hall, and he said the same thing. He did this. I did the same. I was doing it, and the prism was there,
Okay.
and I'll point to the cradle, and then he picked it up, and like I did this. I did everything except that when I turned the dial to that side, like we know he does, and the door closed, he put the prism, or I put the prism in the pedestal, and then he started to conjure something.
Did you recognize the conjuration? Did the words he said sound familiar?
Well, I don't speak Yuan-Ti, so no. But if I had to guess, it might have to do something with healing.
The healing spell. Or is it?
Healing at the symbol of Sirkar. It is Sirkar on that side.
This would have been at the noon position. This is the position he's pushed it to every time.
I can't remember where's where.
So the noon position was the symbol of dawn.
So
Oh,
still
dear.
do. Okay.
He gave him life, healing, life.
Ah.
Okay.
Oh.
This reminds me of a
Oh.
movie.
There's
Really?
this movie, you
There's
know.
a
Didn't we
movie?
actually bring this up when we talked?
I think we might have.
I don't remember this at all.
Do we want to start by putting it the prism?
I think we should replicate, but I really think we should stick together. Can you guys shadow me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna be.
But do we want to put it with these two statues first?
Yeah, I'm gonna do every step
Just as he did.
meticulously.
I'm going to draw my weapons. Just in
Okay.
case.
Okay, guys, here goes. I will set the stone in the cradle, standing in front of the beam as I do so.
Okay.
Okay.
As you go to place the stone, it almost seems as though it would fit, but the two statues are actually just a little too far apart. There's no way you can set it such that the prism won't just fall to the ground. The two statues are, and it's a minuscule difference, but the statues, you probably have a half inch too wide.
Does that change anything?
I don't know. I frantically look around the statues. Could they have shifted over time?
Oh, give me an investigation.
Wait, I just rolled an investigation for something, didn't I?
The room, yeah.
This is us.
Yeah, actually, I don't think we adjudicated your actual investigation of the statues. during
That
the
was
time.
a 28.
Looking them over closely. I mean, again, you look every possible way. Like, how does this thing set in here? And even turned diagonal, so it's at its widest. It is still not quite, but upon closer investigation, you can see that these two statues are not born out of the wall themselves. Where they meet the wall, you can see the finest groove, as though these are recessed into the wall in some capacity. They're not simply part of the wall.
Okay. So these two need to be closer together. So there has to be some sort of mechanism to do that.
I could try pushing them.
Well, it's going to be a pull situation.
I could try pulling them.
Just don't break anything. Give it your best.
Give me an athletics.
19 plus like 8. So,
Wow.
27.
Yeah.
Grabbing a hold of one of the
You just
You're gonna break it.
larger statues, you get the sense, even as you're doing it, that this is not the intent.
Right.
But you do feel the statue draw out as you yank on it. You feel kind of a sudden release, almost like a clutch that was in place.
Was there a
Releasing.
sound coming from anywhere in the room? Like a click anywhere?
I mean, you can hear the sound from behind the wall in which this statue arises out of. And as you kind of almost stumbling back, looking at it, you can see now that this statue is pulled out maybe an inch proud of the other statue at this point.
Okay.
Did I do good?
I'm amazed. Can you do it again?
On the other one? Or the same one?
I don't want you to break it.
I don't know.
There's no way you're going to be able to do that twice.
If someone would help me, I'm sure it'd be a lot easier.
What if...
Sure.
Wait, what if... just humor me.
Humor you.
Use your shield or something and cover that wall. I'm going to point to the eyelid is what I'm going to call it. Just
Okay.
Cover it with darkness, and then I will go over the other one and shine light, like fire, at it. The other opposite side. I'm just curious.
Okay.
If we show darkness at the one that looks like its eye closed, and light at the one that looks like a sun.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll cover the light.
As you move over, blockading the light, and as you ignite a flame, holding it up to where you thought the symbol likely was on the wall, you stand there for a matter of moments, but the room remains silent. You don't receive any form of feedback.
All right, Cal.
Alright. As he sets himself up for the other task.
I thought there was going to be another please coming out of this.
I know, right? You know, last time he got a freaking dagger chucked at his face.
You've learned better than to expect basic human courtesy.
I'm just
Get to work, swine.
All right. Choo choo, here comes the pain train. All right. I will also ask Elistrahi to bless me on this one.
Okay.
All right.
A glow of silver light as you place your hand around the phallic shape of the
It's going to take both hands.
statue. It's both hands.
11 plus 8
You're gonna have to work that statue.
is 19.
19?
Yeah.
Yanking on it with all of your might.
Nothing. Can I get some help over here, please?
Sure.
You stumble back as it slips
Yeah.
loose from its position. The two now.
Oh. Okay.
There it
in
is.
alignment.
Oh.
So.
You guys are
Can
doing
I-
great.
Katarina's
Thanks, Kat.
Katarina's running this union.
I'm hoping you're watching our six a little bit quite literally.
Sure. It's clear back there.
Well, you drew your weapon.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
all
we know
right.
she's
As
ready.
she turns to check, 9 snakes fight her.
Okay, so same protocol. I'm gonna try now. I'll stand in front of the beam and I'll try and set the prism in the cradle.
Reaching up, you can see that much like the pedestal serpent heads, the way in which these two come off of the wall creates a essentially perfect cradle holding the prism at, the flat side of the pyramid completely perpendicular to where the beam of light would be. But I know you said you're standing in front of that. But
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Cal. Sorry. She's just like super focused. Sure. Okay, thanks, Cal. Okay, guys.
Jenny bats out of dust.
That's right, Jenny's
just
We
like-
got we
Jesus.
don't ask what the hell happened to Jenny during the snake
She's
scene.
just been hanging out.
She's all like, frown.
She's been fine. Actually, you find her, she's all like bloated and like she's just a corpse right now.
Oh, no.
It's got like 900 snake bites.
Oh, Jenny.
She's waiting for you to send her back to her plane of existence
me
so
die.
she can heal.
Let me
She's got
die.
1 hit point. You just need to get the dagger out and just do this for her.
Oh my
Jesus.
God, poor Jenny. Okay, guys, you with me? I don't know what's gonna happen.
Already.
Okay, and then I will grab Kel's arm and I will shift out of the way so the beam of light can hit the prism. I don't know if anything.
I'd like to take the block action.
Kel raises it. As he watches you come closer, he raises the shield in anticipation of the next dagger blow. No, as you step out of the way, you can see the beam of light just catches the bottom, what would be the apex of a pyramid, albeit inverted. As it hits it, boom, this entire room blooms into rainbow light, much like the smaller rooms did. Beyond that,
Okay.
Is this one of those rooms that you have to do, like, the life magic for the life for Dune? Is this? You said there was like a night and a sun.
Night and day.
Do we need to do? Is there magic that needs to be done on this final room, or is this just the room
I
that
don't
holds
know.
the prism?
I don't know.
Well, you said you wanted to follow his steps exactly, so let's
Let's
do that.
start there. Okay. Guys, stay close to me, please. Okay, so I'm gonna go position myself at the wall where he exits.
are you tapping your way there, or?
Correct. No.
Okay. Just curious.
I don't
You
know
just
the
failed
this
I don't have a stick.
Did you close your eyes?
Is there a stick
Did
on
you
the
tie
ground?
a scrap of cloth over your eyes and use the
Stick in
force to solve this puzzle? No. Gonna be here a while. No, that's so
I
you're.
need a stick. Does anyone have a stick?
Nope. There's no sticks in the canyon. Literally none.
You've got a
I have a
Jafar staff.
spear, but you know.
Nope. Doesn't
I
count.
do. I'll use my staff.
Yeah,
Oh,
she has her Jafar
she-
staff.
She's all screaming at everyone for a stick.
She's holding a Jafar staff.
It's not a Jafar staff.
It
It's
is.
very different.
Gotta
It's
have
so a
snake on the
Jafar
top,
staff.
right?
It's a staff with a cobra-like head,
The eyes
and
glow.
glowing eyes.
Are
It's
they
nothing
ruby?
like Jafar's
But
staff.
are they ruby eyes?
Hey,
Is it red
let's just stick to the puzzle, all right?
eyes?
I'm foreseeing a pop-up video in the corner just
I know, right?
about the staff right now.
Explain the staff.
What's the staff about?
What
What is this?
the fuck are they talking about? Did he really rip off Jafar's staff?
Wait,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
No! All right, the comments. I mean, the blurb will tell.
We need a blurb. We need a blurb.
I'm gonna lose. What you got?
All right. Okay, so hopefully y'all are flanking me a little and
We're with you.
we'll do the okay. I march forward, I go over to the statue room, pick up the prism, walk back to the pedestal room, set the prism on the pedestal. All right, guys. Oh shit.
That's not good. That's not good at all.
If we
What?
go 180, we go back into the darkness.
Yes.
So let's just go around again, right? I mean, We don't want to relive that.
But he specifically went forward, right?
Maybe if we do the healing thing, you'll stop.
But
Shit, I don't know that.
The place that we started wasn't where we're at now, planetarily speaking. Don't you recall that we didn't quite recognize the sky? So we can just.
But there has to
push it
be.
back.
I think this is a risk reward. We're going to have to take this risk.
I think so. I think he's speaking to someone at a certain time. It's gonna suck.
We're going back into the snake room where you're going to do magic. And then we're going to do this all in the darkness for all three of them. Is that what we're saying?
It doesn't have to be dark.
See here.
Kel can do a thing.
I can do light. So here's my conundrum. I can do light, which is a cantrip, no big deal.
I'm literally like standing at the door. I'm like,
I could also do bless, which could give us an additional 1d4 to any saving throw. I think that's legit.
Is it one or the other?
Yeah.
A
They're both concentration spells.
saving throw. Is that like a wisdom save?
Wisdom, dex, all that good shit. So you're in my aura plus this. You're getting a +4 plus 1d4 to all saving throws.
If I were at the pedestal room, am I out of his aura range? Is it that big?
If he's standing where?
At the dial. He'll be pushing the lever.
If she goes into the outhouse rooms.
Plus we could just use a torch.
The room is probably, the radius of
Yeah.
the room is probably about 15 feet. So, yeah, in general, if you're standing on against the wall and someone's standing in the middle, you'd be outside. It's 10-foot radius, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, in general, that would be the case. It's about a 30-foot
Damn.
diameter of the room. Thereabouts, 30 to 40 feet.
So yeah, that's the question.
Okay, so
We could also just use a torch and throw it on the ground.
I mean, I've
For
got
light?
Lightbringer
Yeah.
too, but
well, you can glow.
I can glow. I can glow hard.
That's what I was thinking.
All right,
What were
I
you
will glow
thinking?
hard.
I'm also going to throw some torches around the room.
How many are you laying out?
How many torches?
Well, save a couple because we might need them.
As you begin conjuring the light that kind of natively comes off of you, kind of all of those lines and
You okay with this cat?
the intricacies of the scar tissue
Oh.
that covers your body begins radiating, and it doesn't take long before Kel rapidly overpowers the native night sky in the space.
Okay.
Cool.
Maybe that's all we need.
The what I'll say is a dim glow without the entire space of the room, but a pretty reasonable light source right at the source.
In that
As
case,
Kel was-
I'll also give out bless.
Okay.
So we are all blessed.
Is it for the next saving throw or is it
1 minute, as long as I
Okay.
can hold my concentration.
okay?
All right.
Now, Kat, I want to make sure if we do this that you're okay with it.
I mean, I don't think that it needs to happen at this point in time, but I think you have a better grasp on what's going on, so I will defer to your.
I'm not sure. Other than
I am going to say that right now this conversation is taking place in blessed time.
Oh, okay, we gotta go.
fuck. Okay. All right.
You feel the kind of cascade of silver light
Where-
settling in the room as you.
You have to cast a healing spell against what needs to happen for the next part of the ritual?
So, we need to turn the dial.
Okay.
The door will
Closed.
open.
Yeah, it'll
At,
open.
so if the dial is at noon and I'm at the door, Sir O'Doon's pedestal should open.
I mean, that's been your experience
That's been
thus far.
the experience.
Yep.
So, so you're doing a healing spell for Cyril Dune.
I have
Cyril.
to place the prism,
Yes.
and then conduct a healing spell.
Where do you put the healing? Where do you put the prism?
where we've been putting it in the pedestal and it doesn't
So
do
you have to
anything.
run out of this room that's full of all snakes and shit?
No, I will be stuck in the room with you, but the door will open to a little closet,
Right.
so I will put it in the closet.
So you have to run to the little closet while all the snakes are waiting for the
Well,
Yes,
I'm hoping
that
to
is
be
correct.
waiting there. I'm not going to help you with the dial.
Smart. Okay, cool.
But
You're blessed.
are we stopping there, or are we doing all 3?
Because we have the 90 to go past.
That's why I don't know.
Okay,
that
we're
it's-
running out of time. We just got to do it. Okay, just give it your all.
No, it's not wrong. Let's do it.
I'm going to stand at the limit of his aura and then get ready to move.
All right.
Alright,
Let's do
push.
it.
All right. The two of you, give me a athletics check as you start cranking on the dial. The full weight of the puzzle rests in
14.
your
Apparently,
hands.
I've been working out. 18.
Damn.
That's
So
it.
what,
We're down to
I'm sorry, what are the totals?
32
32.
total.
32 total?
Yeah.
Putting your back into it, and you can feel it takes a little doing to get that sucker going.
Yeah.
You kind of keep pumping your legs, and you're bringing it 180. Yes?
Yes.
And you watch as I should say you guys don't watch, but you feel the room dim dramatically, and you watch as so many of the single point hangs as they make that next 90-degree turn. You feel it lock in. That point goes black,
Bracing.
and again you can kind of hear the
As soon as that
things-
door is open, I'm booking
the
it.
door flings open.
Kella's bright though, right? So
I'm
are we
bright.
seeing what's happening?
Seeing the terrifying visage.
That's it's like I don't know that I want to, but we're here.
You see nothing around you. You can hear the sounds, and
Oh,
you can even
jeez.
feel the displacement of air as something heavy kind of
Right,
falls
right,
by your
right.
side. But now that you can see in the room, the room is empty. It is just as it has always been. You book towards the outhouse room that we've been calling it as the door is up. What do you do
I place the prism and then I cast Cure Wounds
on?
on the prism.
You,
For this symbol.
you watch as she charges forward, placing it down, and begins moving through the incantation. In that time, I need a dex check from both of you guys. I'm sorry, a dex save. You got killed.
9 plus 1d4 plus 4.
Oh yeah, 1d4.
1d4 plus 4?
Ooh.
2. So I'm at 11 plus 4 is 15.
I have 25.
Woo.
25 and 15.
Yeah.
Despite no visage, I mean, even still, you can feel as you go to move your feet, the uneven ground, this invisible coil of serpent bodies all around you. You can hear the lash of Fang kind of glinting. Given the lighting scenario, no glint of blue as it was before. If the strikes are hitting, they're only finding armor and clothing.
Leather.
As you guys kind of locking the thing in place, look over, Aster slamming the prism down, begins casting spell slot utilized as the prism pulses, and what was rainbow light painting this entire room blares a blinding white as the whole of the room illuminates, and you feel a cooling, soft sensation kind of wash over you. And in that moment, you can even kind of hear this, like it's like a high pitch, almost a woman's voice, just humming, kind of at high pitch, and
Just Aster is hearing that?
all of you.
Oh, okay.
And in fact, as that pulse releases from that space, you suddenly feel your feet free to move about the floor as they usually would. You all immediately get the sense it's not a sense you get often, especially when you are in circumstances such as these, but a sense of absolute safety in this space. If any of you are missing any hit points, you may spend hit dice now.
Sadly, I'm good.
And as you bask in the radiance of the white light of the prism, this, you just know in your bones that this place for the time being is warded against harm and hardship.
That's nice, but did any walls open to reveal treasure?
Nothing.
That's because we've got 2 more to
But
do. I'm
very
sure.
clearly, the prism is interacting with that light in a way that it has never acted before.
Okay.
I thought your idea has an instance for each statue.
Ooh, I figured it was like a Fifth Element situation,
Oh boy. Okay.
but I don't know. Can take a look around the room to see if anything's changed, if there are any new markings.
I mean, as it stands, that one door is open in which Astor has placed the prism in the pedestal, but beyond that, the room seems identical. But again, for the time being, so long as that prism remains active in the sense that it is, again, there's a calming, a healing, a general positive sense in this space.
So in our understanding of magic, Asta, if we pull the prism, then that protection that we're feeling is likely to dissipate.
That's my understanding. Yes.
And so the snakes will come back. But, I mean, we could take this time to pull the prism back and go and see if the wall is accessible where the blind man came out of.
Why do we need to pull the prism to do that?
Well, we would lock it in. It would be lost, not lost, but it would be stuck in the closet.
So if we lose this room, the doors close automatically?
It's all one door.
Okay. Outside others, ourselves.
No worries, no worries. But we don't want to lose we want to keep the prism on us, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's my understanding anyways.
You want to check the main hallway?
That's an option. Otherwise, I just, it seems to me that we're heading towards a place of each outhouse room having the specific magic applied to it and something happening.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's to an end or if the 3 unlock the key to the door that we need to get through. That's all I can muster.
When the first time we experienced the snakes, when we started turning the dial backwards, when did the snakes leave? At 90, or was it at 100?
Essentially, as you returned back to that 90 mark in the first glint of light returned.
So that would be 3 o'clock. What was that symbol?
The symbol at 3 o'clock was the crescent.
Okay, so
that's sleep, right?
I believe so. Yes. Which is Sirimal. Okay, so
I don't know what that.
life, sleep. What's sleep? I mean, I could do sleep. I don't have it prepared.
Right, and I mean the next one you could do. I mean, presumably you have a fire spell prepared.
Fire? Yeah.
For Cyril.
Car. Yeah, I could do that.
This is where it stopped in your vision, though. It was here.
Yeah, this is as far as it got. But we've learned something. We've learned that the prism will interact with if the correct spell matches the correct pedestal.
Do you think it's so much its location and not? You said that the prism was an amalgam of colors, that perhaps it is touched with all the magics, and so if you impart certain magics, it refracts that magic. And maybe that it needs the conduit of the outhouse boxes that we're in to project that back, but I mean,
So
maybe
you're saying I cast healing, therefore it's healing.
yes. And maybe if we leave it up and go back to the main room, I guess I just don't know if the prism is acting on this space or if it's us. I mean, I guess we could test any of those things.
I'm just afraid if we move the dial, if the prism would be
Locked away.
Yeah. I can test with a different spell. Or we can go back, or I don't care. Let's just roll a dice.
Well, I don't know if
we
you missed it, but
No, I did not miss it.
Okay.
Time is ticking.
Yep, time is ticking.
So either we leave the prism where it is,
Okay.
roll the dial back 180 and see what's there.
Okay.
B, we take the prism,
Okay.
roll the dial 90 degrees,
Okay.
which is Seer and Maul.
Which is
Sleep, which I don't even know what to cast for that. I have sleep, but I don't have it prepared.
Okay. Yeah. What kind of school is sleep?
Good question.
Sorry.
I would know this, right? I just know it.
Sleep is an enchantment. I'm almost positive.
That
You can
makes
double check
sense.
it, but I'm guessing it's.
Do you
an
know any
enchantment.
other enchantment spells?
Yes, I do.
There you go.
Yes, use enchantment.
Especially if you know a cantrip, that'd be dope.
Right.
Those from the spell
Don't burn
slots.
all the spell slots.
Evocation, conjuration, transmutation, illusion, transmutation.
Wizard
evocation.
life.
No. I do not have.
Hypnotic pattern might be, but that's a freaking high level
Yes.
spell.
So we don't have to go into. Oh, for the love of God!
Where's her book?
I have shield. Wait,
Well, that's a
yes.
reaction.
I have
Just have duration anyway.
silvery barbs. I have that. It's a level 1 spell.
There you go.
Um,
Let's give it a shot. Not that I understand anything that's going on.
the type of magic. Oh, I hope that's right.
If
Okay, so
it's
that's
wrong, we'll
option-
die a
that's
horrible
option-
death. And I
that's
get to
option
play my
B.
other character. It's fine. I haven't thought of a name. Glorta might be good.
Which
That's a
path?
good one.
Which path are we? Vote. Let's just vote. A or B? Who votes A?
I don't know what each one. You just yelled out letters.
A is we leave the prism where it is. We turn the dial and we go check on the hall. See if anything's changed.
Yeah. B
and
is we continue with our process.
B is we take the prism, i.e., potentially encounter snakes again,
Yeah.
and then rotate 90 degrees
Yeah.
to the next pedestal and cast a spell for that one.
That's my vote.
That's your vote?
Let's do it. Go for broke. But yeah, is Bless still going?
No.
Fuck.
Hard no.
Okay.
All right.
This is gonna we're gonna have to hustle.
How about before you do that, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to push the thing. And that way, as soon as you enter, we're pushing the thing.
I'm assuming you haven't moved.
No, you asked us to come over, didn't you?
Mm-mm.
Okay,
No,
then we're ready to.
No,
Okay.
and if you're postured up, I'll keep your. If you
Okay.
haven't moved, I'll keep your.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna stay where I'm at. So next time the door opens, I'm right there. All right. I'm gonna. Okay, guys.
Ready.
1, 2. You're still going, right?
What?
You're still glowing,
Yes.
right? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Go! And I'll grab the prism.
As you lift
Wait till
it
she
up.
gets in the room, though.
I know, I'm not moving
Oh no,
yet.
I'm not. I'm basically reached in and I'm out.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
As your legs begin pumping, clink, 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 you begin making your rounds. The floor feels clear as
Okay.
you push your way. You stop at 90, the door drawing up.
Whew.
All right. Next
my
phase.
only
Do we
concern
still-
is that there's
Do we
an
still
order to
feel
this. That's my only other
worded?
concern.
Do we still feel like safe?
That's true.
Having removed it, that
Only
sense
one way
of
to find out.
warmth and
How would
security.
you, how would you
that
figure out
has-
for sure?
that has dissipated?
Okay.
Well, technically, I think we found Sir Carr second and then Sir Amal third.
It,
But I don't know if that's... My concern was that there's an order to do these in.
Well, we found Sir O'Doon first,
Yes.
and then we found.
And then I was pretty sure it was Sir Carr.
I think you're right, which is not what we're on right now.
Exactly. So that was my consideration, is that
Should we go forward or backward?
we have to go back to... If we're at, 3 or 9, we have to go to the other
Well, I
side.
know, but do we clockwise
You're
or
at 3.
counterclockwise?
You have to get
I mean,
to
I
9.
guess we could just go past the main hall and just check in and see if the
So,
door's open, I guess.
Counterclockwise. No, clockwise.
Clockwise.
Yeah, just clockwise up back.
Okay.
90 degrees.
All right, let's do.
what?
Keep going.
Okay.
Charging forward, clink, 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 clink. You hit the 6 o'clock mark. The door draws up, and you are staring into the hallway you've stared into.
Hey,
so
hey,
many
Jenny,
times
can you
before.
check the wall to see if it's penetrable?
You can see, like, kind of half batting at
Jenny!
She kind of glances.
Ollie
up
does
and
it
just kind of.
for me.
You just hear kind of like a low purring growl in your throat. Nothing seems to have changed.
All right.
Okay, let's go
Onward.
to Sir Carr's.
Okay, another 90.
Another 90.
If you want, I can use my fire sword. Unless it has to be magic, but...
It slams down.
Oh, I got this.
Okay, well, I just, resources.
No, appreciate that. I have a cantrip for this.
Oh.
The lever continues rotating, slamming down at 90. The door swinging open, and
We still feel good?
there before you.
Nothing.
No, we don't feel safe anymore because
Well,
I
you
took the
don't-
prism out.
Yeah, she was asking.
Oh,
about
but
that
nothing's on the
feeling.
floor. Okay.
But no
No,
snakes
nothing
showed
on
up.
the floor.
That's the important
So
stuff.
that happened.
As you stand there, you can see the beam of light illuminating the symbol of Sirkar in this room.
Okay.
Do it.
All right, I'm gonna place the prism, and I will cast firebolt on it.
Bout.
Firebolt.
Is that enchantment? No, this is
It's
it's
fire.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Oh, it was so good for a minute.
I actually don't need a roll. If you're said you're casting firebolt.
Yeah,
Marble.
it's my
Um,
bane of my existence.
The whole room's
Yeah,
gonna
you
light on
forget
fire,
As
too.
you a lurch of flame makes contact with the prism, and you watch as the entire room illuminates with a just a saturated red light. You feel a
Any burnt
burst
hair?
of flame, and I need a. You guys are still on the handle?
Yeah.
I need a dex check from everybody. Dex
Alright.
save, I'm sorry.
Dex.
You're out of my range.
I am.
Out of my range. 19. Jesus.
Okay, 21.
19 too.
I'm still next to you, right?
Oh, you always next to Cal. You know where the good place
Always
is
next
at.
to Kale.
You want to be safe. You stay next
21.
to Cal.
What you guys got?
Actually 27
23.
with his bonus.
Damn.
Bracing yourselves, you feel a buffet of hot air and flame kind of lick across the room, and as things settle, you can see the warm kind of bonfire-y glow of light. Even has the same flicker and cadence that a actual flame would have, and you hear.
Oh, hell yeah.
As somewhere outside of this room, something has shifted.
Well, we got to do the other one then. We got to do. So the first one neutralized the snakes.
Yeah,
The
now
second
we've heard
changed
something move.
I
Okay.
think the door probably came up, team.
Okay, so now we have to do Sir Imal.
And
Kalima.
so here's the thing. Sleep to me could also equate death.
Same.
And so I don't know if necromancy
I
kind of
don't have any necromantic.
Which is probably wise, but
How do you see the their enchantment evocation?
So, but Firebolt is an evocation spell, right? It's a damaging spell, right?
Yeah. It is evocation, yeah.
I know a lot about magic,
All the things.
Just kidding.
I'm very sorry. I do not have any necromancy.
Oh, I would be very surprised if you did.
I'm a paladin.
Yeah, you bitch.
Ooh. What about revivify?
If you, as a wizard, if you read something from a book, do you have to have it memorized to use the spell if it's right in front of you?
You know about like a
Conjuration.
scroll? Or doing
Can I cast a spell from my spellbook directly? Like,
No, you would have to.
I would have to prepare.
Yeah, you have to go through the mental process.
Understood. Okay.
Is Bane necromancy? Because we have a amulet.
Yeah, the amulet.
That might be.
It's not.
If it's not.
Well,
I don't know that for sure, but I'm pretty high confidence that it's not. You can check it.
No. Let's try enchantment.
let's
Sleep.
just try it. Yeah.
Because sleep.
I don't have sleep prepared.
It's enchantment. So why don't you try an enchantment spell?
Which one do I have? Oh, Silver Bubs. That's the only enchantment I have. I just don't want to hurt the prism because it's an offensive. Well, I hit it with fire. Nothing happened.
Or we can step outside because the door opened.
Well, we're gonna have to anyway. We have to pass that way anyway.
Okay.
All right, let's rewind the dial back to 6 o'clock on our way to 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Or does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
Okay. Pressing yourself into that bar as it hits the 6 o'clock mark, the door drawing up.
What do we see?
You see a hallway into a room that you've
Jenny!
seen on so many.
Jenny, is the door open now?
Why must you use my
I don't wanna
celestial
move.
panther?
We're right here. But Jenny, is the door slide open?
She does not move. She just looks at her.
She's not. It's hard to tell if she even knows exactly what it is you're asking of her.
Can we tell where the grinding was coming from?
Certainly somewhere beyond the.
All right, I'll go
doorway.
look. We'll go out into the hallway.
Okay.
Is the
As you step into the main junction, your heart sinks a little as you can still see the stone intact. That changes though when you look further into the other room, and you can see that where there had been sheer wall, where Aster had been gesturing towards a symbol that only she could see. You can see now an open doorway.
on each side or just on one side?
One side.
Which one? Which side?
Asta, there's an open door, not the one that we expected, but the one in the statue room, where you said that there was.
Stow the prism and run over. Which symbol was it correlating with?
The eyelid. And as you enter that room, you can see that this room is much like the others. A small room, the serpent pedestal. Though someone has converted this to some, I guess you could almost say like a storage closet. You can see a
Or mop.
it's a janitor's closet. This whole time this has just been the janitor's
corner.
sick prank.
It is, right?
He's what? You see a peephole and a blinking eye. You hear a cackle. No, they're in that space. You can still see the pedestal, and actually on the as you square up to that room, you can see an apparatus, a frame on wheels, which supports a large ovular mirror. This is kind of crammed in back behind the
Mirror. A mirror.
back behind the
You
pedestal
can
itself.
refract the light. If we put the prism in this pedestal, we need to get the beam to it. So you have to put the mirror in the center of this room to refract the beam 90 degrees.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to move the mirror? And you want to?
What's the symbol of this pedestal?
The same. That closed eyelid.
Oh, it is the closed eyelid.
Mhm.
Are there any engravings or etchings as far as words,
There are not.
language?
But behind the mirror, you can see, just like every other room, on the back wall of that room is the same symbol that you could only see.
And this is
Using
the
your-
3:00, right?
This would be the 3:00 as you enter this room. Yes.
So, eyes closed could be sleep, or like the eyelid looking one. The 3:00 in the frame of space of the other room corresponds to the same Siramal, so that could be the same. But the sun is day. I don't know if we have anything for that.
So the question is, should we finish with Siramal in the pedestal room, in the planetarium? Your attempt to...
But if we finish it and this door closes, then what?
Well, then we just turn it back to Siokar and use some fire
Blast
on
that
it.
again?
And
Okay, trial of.
What's going on?
but we're also here. I mean, the light beam is headed right here. We can...
And I'm going to operate at an assumption until someone says otherwise. That mirror is still in that room.
Yes. Okay. Let's just do something. I would like to test it while we have it.
Okay.
Do it.
Okay. All right. So let's take the mirror out. Put it in the center of the room. I'm gonna put the prism in the pedestal, and then I'm gonna go back to the mirror and try and guide the beam, rotate it to where it's hitting the prism.
Okay. Turning the mirror at a 45, you watch as that beam of light that has cast in between the heads of the two statues so many times before, now reflecting off, hitting the prism itself, and you can see the room bursts into rainbow light.
What's the symbol?
It's like a closed eyelid.
Is this the... Oh.
We haven't seen it yet. The nighttime symbol is this one.
Okay.
This one to me is opposite this in the room.
Okay.
So it's like night and day maybe, or sleep and wake.
Well, I have a moon. I have a moon.
Well, I think that would
Life
be
and death, maybe.
life and death.
This is
So this would be
necromancy.
death.
I don't have any necromancy.
I don't either.
If we don't have it, we don't have it.
Well, shit.
Do we have any spell scrolls or anything?
Let me check briefly. I do have conflagration.
No.
That's a bit much.
Let's not do that.
What's conflagration?
It melted the hill.
Yeah.
Let's not do that one.
You
More mushroom clouds in the canyon.
Just give it a shot. I mean, how are the
It is
Tempests
important. We
gonna know where
haven't
you're at?
conveyed to the
Heroes.
Heroes.
oh my god, what's the name?
Fucking heroes.
To the Tempest. We haven't sent them an explosion lately.
I know, they're like, are they okay?
Where
Nothing's
are they?
exploded for at least 10
I know.
minutes.
They think you're dead at this point.
It's too bad it's not literal, where you could just like put a shroud on the prism. Just like, okay, sleep.
Right.
I don't know.
Do I
If we don't have it, we don't have it.
If it's sleep, it could also be darkness. Is there any
Yes,
kind of
we have
magic
darkness.
that I'm...
wait?
What? Of divination. Holy shit, what?
I don't know, but I like it.
I know, I like that.
Oh.
Okay. I will try to cast Firebolt again, but I will change it to necrotic energy.
Is that the day you're on?
I
You
do
can-
happen to
Holy
have it.
shit. Wait, are we all in this room? Hold
We are all
Reflected.
together.
We're all gonna
He
die.
watches
Let's
a-
die together.
Yep. I
green
got another
flame
character. It's
leaping from your hand hits the prism, and I need everyone to make a death saving throw for me.
Okay.
Oh.
Everyone is within. Wait. Yeah,
Yeah,
everyone
we're
is
all-
within
we're
my
all in the
aura.
Is the +4?
It'll be
Good lord.
Constitution will be your modifier.
Oh,
Yeah.
good lord.
Okay.
I'm gonna need it.
Okay.
Plus you get 4 from you.
Mhm. 7
+4 is 11.
plus your Constitution modifier.
2. It's 13.
16.
16.
13.
For those of you who have the ability to reroll, are you keeping it?
I feel like 16 is pretty strong, but I'm second guessing it.
That's because he's a good DM.
Yeah, I'll reroll.
How about you?
For this, yeah. It was nice for a second. What is it now?
6.
What was it before?
7.
There it is.
Okay, so 13 it is. Or, yeah, 13
I think it was
it
actually
is.
9 before, but whatever.
Wait, what?
I have
It was
23.
9?
I don't remember, but I remember your total was 13.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be. Total should be 12 next. Last was 7. This was 6.
Okay.
You keeping that?
I
don't
think
know.
she's at. That's it. That's her less lucky.
Oh, that was your last lucky.
No, I've used 2.
Oh, okay, never mind. Such a broke feat.
Lucky, lucky. pulling
Dude,
your
divination
ass out.
wizard with lucky.
Yeah,
Kill yourself.
I know. I might just quit that campaign. You guys win, I promise.
I don't want to die.
Divination wizard has already seen like the way this plays out,
Yep.
so there's not much point in actually doing it. Let's roll different characters.
If I reroll.
Choose well. Choose well. You do not want to roll worse than you just rolled.
You're rolling the paladin.
Well, that's I figure. As long as one of us is alive, then we
I
can
hope
help
so.
help the rest.
All right.
Oh, she bosses it.
What is it?
18.
Oh, thank God. +4 is 22. Plus
Yeah,
2
she's
is
fine.
24.
Yeah.
Thank God.
All right. A pulse of dark energy fills the room. All of you kind of steeling yourself against. In fact, you being closest to it, probably it's more observational for the two of you. You watch as that pulse washes over, and you can see as like 3 or 4 kind of specter-like iterations of Aster are kind of pushed free of her form and then kind of wrestled back into her. The cold, chilling sensation flushes from your body. And in the stillness that follows,
Yes.
the
Well done, sweetheart.
Dude.
groan
So
of
well played.
stone as all of your heads turn and you watch as the central junction, no longer a 3-way junction, but now a 4-way
door's open?
junction. As
We
that
can keep opening doors, though. That's the thing.
raises up. Just beyond that door, you can see 2 kind of a strange assembly, 2 small stone, what can only be described as seats. They're kind of very intricately crafted to support the form of an individual, not a basic stool by any means. These are something, I mean, I would almost draw a correlation to like a bucket seat in a race car, like a very kind of properly formed, slightly reclined. 2 of them sit there. You can see in between them a serpent head pedestal and a sheen, much like the prism itself, albeit razor thin. In fact, you don't even notice it until you come up, but you can see a armature that holds up what we might describe as a piece of glass that separates these two seats from one another.
And the pedestal that holds it, does it have any insignia?
The pedestal is identical to the other ones that you've seen in the small rooms, and that sits just in front. So as you enter this space, you come to the pedestal. To either side and beyond are the seats, and this sheet of what I'm going to refer to moving forward as glass, albeit it is very, very thin, and you immediately acknowledge very similar by material to the prison itself. Some kind of crystalline, and you can see these two seats cocked just ever so slightly toward one another. All of that you take in. It is the figure that is sitting in the seat on the left that draws your attention more so than the space itself. You can see the skeletal remains, the head kind of cocked back, and the jaw has kind of completely fallen loose, just barely hanging, of a serpentine figure. You can see the long cane-like stick which rests in front of him, its hands kind of clasped on it. Bone and dust are essentially all that remain of this figure. And as you approach, you can see a very small, maybe 6 to 8 inches in diameter dish that sits just between the two seats. And you can see there is a kind of an iridescent yellowish marble that sits in that seat. And as you move into this space, you suddenly see kind of pulling together in the other seat the visage which you've now seen so many times before, as it stands rising, this kind of materialization in visage alone, which kind of glances over and gives a nod to the other chair before tap, 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 as he walks right through the doorway. You hear from behind you, "You're late." And that, unfortunately, is where we're going to have to end this session. Some substantial progress made in working your way through the planetarium.
There better be some epic shit at the end of this puzzle,
is an
man.
Awesome, just intense puzzle.
But with that, you guys got anything for the beautiful people at home?
Join us next time.
What do we do?
I like pie.
He does like pie.
It's
Actually,
true.
you don't like pie.
I don't like pie.
Well,
You
you
don't
do.
like
Of all the
pie.
desserts.
Well,
you do
that's
like
true.
pie.
But general fact that probably nobody else is privy to.
Yeah.
This dude just doesn't like sweets.
I don't
He
like
doesn't
sweets.
like sugar.
Sorry.
Mutant.
Yeah, mutant. That's good.
Wow.
That's a good.
Attack.
Barely human and not deserving of any of the rights thereof.
Or you,
dear
or
God.
you could look at it as the next step in human evolution.
That's true.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe.
you spin it however you want.
Yeah.
No, thank you guys so much for joining us this time. If you guys don't have anything else, until next time, Josh, take us out.
The world is yours.